Okay, so we're back at the Rely On Training Centre over in Liverpool. They've very kindly allowed us to come back and do some more video work with some new products. This video we're going to be looking at a new product which we call the Drill-Winch. We have two different devices. We've got the DW3 and the DW2. And we're going to be going through the different applications and the different ways they can be used. But just as a starter, quickly show you the devices close up. So this is the first one. This is the DW3. Looks very much like a fairly normal ascending device. But on the back side, you can see we've got a drill interface. And we'll be using that later on. And then the other one is the DW2. This is a much more basic device. So we don't have the lever for controlling the lowering. What you need to do with this one is put the rope through the pigtails to create friction. But again, it's got the drill interface on the backside. And then the third important component, perhaps unsurprisingly, is a drill. So I've got my drill here. I've been using this drill, which is an Erbauer. This is a Screwfix special. It's about £170, so it's pretty affordable. Most important thing with the drills to use with these is the torque loading. This is 120 Newton meter torque loading, perfectly fine for what we've been using it for. I've been lifting and lowering 250 kilos with this without any problem. You can get even higher torque loading drills up to 150 Newton meters, Milwaukee's, Makita's, that sort of thing. They're more expensive, but this one seems to do the job no problem. Okay, so let's have a look at the basic operation of the DW3. First thing to say is the opening side plate has a double lock. Push once, push twice to open it up. And now you can see the rope path through the wheel. And also, if you're getting closely, you can see the V groove in the wheel, which is obviously the thing that creates all the grip. Worth noting at this point that the device, this device only works with 10.5 and 11 mil industry rope. So let's close that down, and we turn it around. You can see now that we've got a lever arm, which is the thing that creates all the control in a descent. And you do get a good level of control. And if you let go of the handle, it will automatically stop. There is no anti-panic with these devices. And then finally, with the drill interface, the device comes complete with 8mm hex keys. And we push it into the drill interface, and then we can do a lift. And it's always important to note, once you've finished your lift, just reverse the drill a little bit, just to back it off, so it's easy to get the drill out. Okay, so let's have a look at the basic operation of the DW2. A couple of big differences with this one. The main one is the closure. The side plate doesn't have any mechanical lock. The only way to lock it is to put it into place and then put the carabiner through it like this one. The other difference is the wheel. It's a little bit of a different design of wheel. The V groove inside there can actually accommodate down as low as 8mm ropes, which could be really useful for rigging, materials handling, that sort of thing. And of course, the other big difference with these is the controlled lowering. Now, on this one, this handle doesn't allow you to control a lower. It's effectively either on or off. So what you've got to do is put the rope through the pigtails to create some friction. And the more you wrap it around, the more friction you get, obviously. So if I now lift that handle up to completely disengage it, all right, now you can see that I'm controlling the lower with finger and thumb control. And then if I let go of that, it locks in place. So, and then the drill interface is the same. Same hex key as before. Big difference with this one is because it's geared slightly differently. this one runs counterclockwise, whereas the DW3 runs clockwise. So and again, just as before, back it off slightly to be able to get the drill out. Okay, so let's have a look at the DW3 now in a vertical hauling application. Could be hauling up loads, confined space, could be maybe on a wind turbine, scaffolding, pretty much anything. The progress capture system within the device allows us you can manually haul, or we can use the drill to haul. We can even use a direct drill, a one-to-one system. Or we can set it up with mechanical advantage like we've got here on a 2-to-1. So we could mechanically haul, manually haul like this, and you can hear the ratchet. So you've got that's the progress capture system working in there. And then just to lower it, use the lever handle to lower, and you can control the lowering with the handle or with your control hand. So we can do that, or we can connect in the drill. And again, just lower under control. So we can do that, or if you don't need mechanical advantage, you know, if your loads are fairly low, then we can just disconnect from the Beckett. And then just connect directly into the lifting sling. Pull the rope through. And then again, just drill to lift. And again, just lower. Okay, so let's have a look at the DW2 now in a vertical hauling situation. It does have a Beckett eye, so you can create a mechanical advantage if you want to for manual hauling. But in this case, let's just work with this with direct drive with the drill. So we'll lift the load. Okay. So now what we've got to do to lower the load, again, we've always got to put the rope through the pigtails. And of course, the heavier the load, the more friction you need, so you can wrap it around the pigtails again if you want to. Because the lever arm disengages the ratchet mechanism, so it's either on or off. So I'll hold this now. I release the lever arm. And now I've got control with my left hand, and I can just lower gently. Okay, so let's have a look at the DW3 set up in a rescue type situation. We've got the DW3 attached onto a low anchor point, ropes running through a high deviation, and down to 2 rescue dummies, each weighing 70 kilos. The 140 kilos is well within the working load limit of the device, which is actually 250 kilos with 10.5 or 11mm rope. So let's just put some tension into the system using the progress capture ratchet. Okay, and then we can insert the drill. Okay, so as I start to slowly take in the tension, one of the things you'll see is that the rope is self-tending through the device, so you need to be able to take control of that. And the other thing is that the drill is actually trying to twist quite a lot. So you can hold it with two hands, or we actually provide a tool tether with each drill, with each device. That obviously helps not to drop the drill, but also if you attach that onto your harness, then it'll help to counteract some of the twisting of the drill. So we'll lift that now all the way and go to full speed. Okay, we'll back off the drill a little bit. All right, and then to do the lower, we just got to release the lever. But obviously the best thing to do if we can is just put the rope back through another carabiner to create some extra friction in it. All right, so I've got the handle fully open now, and I'm just controlling the lower with my left hand. Okay, so let's have a look at using a DW2 now for lifting and lowering materials or goods, tools, that sort of thing. Again, we just set it up through a high directional just so we can see how it all works out. And we're actually using an 8mm rope this time. So it's an 8mm accessory cord. Works perfectly well for materials handling. The device has got a lower working load limit when used with this type of rope, so it's 150 kilos. So let's first of all start by taking in the tension with the progress capture ratchet. One of the really important things you've got to do with the 8mm ropes, 8 or 9mm, is just to make sure that the rope is firmly embedded in the V-groove before you start the lift. Otherwise the rope could slip through the wheel. Okay, so again, we'll just insert the drill, start the lift. And we go full speed. Okay, and then again, back it off a little bit so we can get the drill out easily. And then for the lower, again, really important to put the rope through the pigtails, because that's where we get the control. Let's put a pair of gloves on for this. And we've got the lever handle again, so we'll fully open it up to disengage the ratchet. Okay, and now the load is, I'm holding the load with my left hand, the control rope. Just lower it down.